Here from Man City Fan Chat. Hope you guys are doing very well. I'm having a great time. I hope you are having a good Tuesday evening too. And big up to the Prince Hot Jordan, who's my latest follower. I'll just have a quick look through this. Chris Hot Jordan. Anyway, let's get this up and running. One person's watching. Let's see who that
Man
is.
City Fan Chat.
Turn that noise off. Hey, English Mastiff, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're really, really well, mate. Hope you're having a good day, good evening, and everything else. I've got some spam. Let's have a look at this spam. Oh, got some stuff from Stevie Wonder's comments. People, I don't know if he's picked that name because of me or because Stevie Wonder's his favourite artist. Oh dear, when you read your messages, that person's going to be, end up being banned from the channel. Oh dear. Anyway, let's go back to you guys. Let's go. Chris Welch. Hey, Chris, how you doing, buddy? I hope you're really well. You're watching England women? Man, to be honest, I've not got into this World Cup because I just haven't had the time. You know, too much on. You know, my evenings are spent taking the kids to whatever activity they've got. Monday night they've got boxing. Tuesday night tonight they had jiu-jitsu and Thai boxing. Wednesday they got boxing again. Thursday they got jiu-jitsu and judo. Friday it's Thai boxing. Saturday morning, if I'm if I can get up early enough, I take them to judo. So up to 6 days a week, they're out busy. So I take them to their activities. Get them home like tonight. You know, we got home about 8 o'clock. Fed them by 8:30. It was a bit late tonight. I don't like feeding them that late, but it's the way it is. You know, they're 2 hours of sports, and I had to just grab a couple of things on the way home and go around my mum's. So, you know, life gets in the way of dinner sometimes, but they're very happy. Nice salmon inside them, and some broccoli and spaghetti. That's what they like. Abdallah Alamami, hi, how you doing, mate? Mike James, good evening, Mike. Very formal tonight. I hope you're wearing a collar and dicky bow tie, or at least a tie. English Mastiff, what do you reckon, Ray? AKBS or possibly doable? Well, Nathan Ake, Dutch defender, 24 years old. He's a decent player. He's a very decent player. When we played against Bournemouth last season, we won 1-0 and it was a hard-fought victory. He was always there in the right place, almost always. Right place, right time. He was under a lot of pressure. Now, just get closer because I'm getting excited talking about potential transfers. The thing is, a lot of defenders can look good in a defensive setup where they've not got a lot of space to cover and they've just got to focus on maybe one or two players. And their sole aim is to stop the other team scoring. Okay, so yes, you can. I was a decent defender. I'm talking at my level because all I focused on was stopping people scoring. You know, get the ball, I hoofed it. That's it. You know, someone comes running through, I tackle them. That's it. But the problem you've got when you play for someone like Man City, you have to concentrate a lot more. Okay, when you're under attack, under pressure all the time, you can focus. You can actually twitch yourself to focus all the time. Okay, but when you're only when you only have to defend now and again, sporadically, you can switch off, and you can see it with players like Walker and Delph and Zinchenko. They can switch off, okay, and that can cause you trouble. Now you've got to be switched on, and you've got to be switched on in the quiet moments, not just the busy moments. So when you play for Man City, there's a lot more space, okay. You've not got this narrow pitch. You've not got 5 defenders across the back. Blocking crosses and helping you out. It might be, you know, someone's breaking and there are only 2 of you. The fullbacks might be up, and there might only be two of you and Fernandinho to stop 3 or 4 players coming forward. And it's a different kind of defending. So you can look good in a defensive setup. Burnley defenders look pretty good, but move them out of their comfort zone of defending for Burnley, they might not appear as good. Look at Michael Keane. He looked good at Burnley. 25 million transfer to Everton, not so hot. So, but I do like Ake. He read the game well, and that's really, really important for me, is to be able to read the situation, read the game, be in the right place at the right time with interceptions and tackles. He's got good pace, very good pace. He's got strength, he's got power, he's good in the air. If we're going to get another centre-back, then I want someone who's good in the air to replace Vincent Kompany, who was good in the air. I want someone who can tackle, someone who can intercept, someone who can read the game. So Ake was a formidable opponent that day. I think he played every game for Bournemouth last season. Or reading some stats, he played everything except 8 minutes. So he's reliable. And Bournemouth, they're an in and out team. So they will be under pressure at times. So I think it's a decent option. 40 million, he's only 24. It's probably at the top end of the range of the ages that we want to buy, because he still needs to develop. Yeah, he's not the finished article. But if Pep wants him, I have no problems. So that's what's actually my main topic. Ake, Bonucci, Maguire, Toby. And I wouldn't take Bonucci. He's 32 years old, coming from Italy. You don't know if he's going to settle. The money's a lot as well. He's a non-homegrown player. I just can't see it. Whereas someone like Maguire counts as homegrown. That's a big, big bonus. Immediately, it's a big bonus. I'm just going to have a quick look at Nathan Ake and trying to work out whether, I don't suspect he's a homegrown player, but it is important if you can get homegrown players naturally, because there's only 17 non-homegrown spots in a squad. Now, I suspect Ake. Now, Ake came from Chelsea, but looking at it, he probably will qualify as homegrown, because he came to Chelsea in 2012, according to Wiki. Okay, and he's been at Reading, Watford, on loan, Bournemouth. So actually, he's 24 years old. But if he came in 2012, that's 7 years. He was 17. So Ake would qualify as homegrown. So another very good reason to look at Nathan Ake. If you're a homegrown player, gotta be interested. 40 million, cheaper than Maguire. Maguire's already up to 70, 75, 80 million. United are offering that. I can't see Maguire telling Leicester, or he can tell them that he wants to only go for City. And would Leicester accept 60 million rather than 80 that United might offer? United are desperate, and I don't know how Leicester would play it. If Maguire says, I'm not going to go to United, but I want to leave. So what options do Leicester have? But Leicester have got money. They've got a strong backing, and so they don't need to sell. They don't need to sell for money reasons, okay? They can sell for other reasons. They don't need the money. So obviously, if you can sell Maguire for 80 million, you can go and reinvest that in other players. No one's going to turn their nose up at 80 or even 90 million quid, but they're not desperate. I don't think they're desperate for the money. So Bonucci, too old. For me, he may still be class, but if it takes him a year to acclimatise to the Premier League, he'll be 33. What are you going to get out of him after that? And he's non-homegrown. Ake counts as homegrown. He's 24. He's got 8 or 9 years ahead of him. Toby, okay, I think Toby now is the wrong side of 30. Let's have a quick look. I think he's 31, but he might be 30. But let's have a quick look. Alderwiereld, okay? Now, he's going to cost us 25 million quid. Now, yeah, he's 30 years old. He's just turned 30. So he's going to cost us... But his issue, I think, is his injuries. Let's have a quick look, okay? Because there's no harm having a look at his actual games. We played 34 games last season, so it wasn't that bad, according to Wiki. 34 league games. The season before, he only played 14. So I think when you look at the two... Okay, last season actually wasn't so bad. He played 50 games all told. And I was probably looking at the last 2 seasons where he's played 72 games out of 100. You think, okay, that 14th season kind of sticks in my mind where he only played 14 league games. But I do him a disservice. Apparently he played 34 league games last season. So, it's a decent number of games. So his injury, situation makes me even more thinking, why not? He's used to the league. Yeah, it's not as if he's coming new to the league. He's used to the league. He's played since 2014 when he was on loan at Southampton. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons in the Premier League. I think that's enough, and that's what he's got 2 years on Bonucci, and he's already got 5 years in the Premier League. So he should be more ready. He more likely to hit the ground running. But we saw with Mahrez that's not always the case. But anyway, so if I had a choice, I'd still go for Matthijs de Ligt. I mean, you know me. If then a second choice, it'd be a toss-up between Toby and Nathan Ake. Nathan Ake, I think, is a decent shout. 40 million, you might think is a bit steep, but that's business these days. Let's have a look through. Ake is all right. Let's give some shout-outs, guys. So Mukund, hi Mukund, how you doing? India won today. Not by too many runs, but they won. Chris, who would you sign out of Ake, Bonucci or Alderwiereld? I've just said that. So I'd toss up between Ake and Alderwiereld. That if I can get Ake for between 25 and 40 million quid, I'd probably go for Ake right now. But obviously, I'm not a professional scout. I'm only a guy who watches some games, and I haven't seen enough of Ake. Although what I've seen, I've really liked. As I said many times, when City plays 61 league games in a season, and you go to a lot of those games, you haven't got time for anything else. Yeah, and if you go to some EDS and academy games, and you've got a young family, you haven't got time for watching lots and lots of other football. Gurtig Singh, do you think we missed our chance on winning the Champions League last season, considering the new campaign everyone has strengthened, especially Real Madrid? Well, for Real Madrid, what's going to happen? Who they bought? They bought loads of new players. Okay, was it 350 million quid already? And they're still looking for players. Zidane's back, so obviously that's a huge advantage for them. But to integrate and assimilate so many different players, yeah, it's difficult. You saw what happened with someone like Fulham. Okay, they came up. Okay, slightly different case, but they bought, was it 16 players? Too much. So if you're buying 4, 5, 6 players and you try to assimilate them, it's not going to change overnight for Real Madrid. Yes, they may be stronger, but I don't think it's going to change overnight. We'll find out very, very soon, actually. Within a month of the La Liga season starting, we'll see what difference Zidane and the new players actually make. Mike James, Angelino's girlfriend, I think we call her. Yeah, I saw that. I think it was hours and hours ago, early this morning. So it looks like it's all but done and dusted. It's just a matter of revealing, and it's maybe City will reveal it at the weekend when we open the store for the kids. The new City store. Maybe that's a surprise. Hi Kamal, hope you're well. You're not keen on Ake? Ake's all right, mate. I think he's all right. He's still got that potential to develop. He's only 24 years old. Mike, have you heard that Hossam Zamani Ajax won? I've heard it. I didn't look into it, because the problem is at the moment you're getting so many rumours all the time, and anybody and everybody's getting linked with City purely because it helps. The agent believes it helps, or the club believe it helps put up the transfer price, maybe by a few million. It may help add a little bit more money in the player's wages, in his pay packet, and with the agent's commission. So, everybody's linked with City, even if we've got no intention, of buying somebody. Everybody's still linked with City because, as I said, it inflates everything. English Mastiff, Ake, left-footed, good in the air, homegrown, fast, young. What else could you ask for English Mastiff? And it was rumoured that we were looking at Harry Maguire because he can play on the left side, okay, of the two centre-backs, and that's why we wanted a left-footer. So Ake, a lot of good signs for him. But what surprises me with Ake is we've not heard anything at all. Now, the way City do it, apparently, I'm sure I've read this or heard it in an interview with Khaldoon Al-Mubarak, our chairman. They have a plan A. They have a preferred option, and then they have a B and a C. Now, it could be, for argument's sake, that our plan A was Matthijs de Ligt. And when that got silly, our plan B was Harry Maguire, because all the talk was Matthijs de Ligt, Matthijs de Ligt, Matthijs de Ligt, and suddenly it's gone. All the talk is Harry Maguire, Harry Maguire, Harry Maguire. Maybe he was our B option. Now the price has gone too far, skyrocketed too much. Then we look at our C option, which might well be Nathan Ake. It's the way to do it. You try and get all your ducks in a row, but like we've seen before with Fred, with Alexis Sanchez, their team around them, the agent and manager and girlfriend or whatever, and themselves sometimes end up asking for too much money. They're doing it all for the wrong reasons, and City bail out and say, we don't want this anymore. So we've got to have an A, B and a C, maybe even a D as well. Maybe D is Toby Alderwiereld. Chris Welsh with Van Dijk, the record fee for a defender prices will, they're going to go up because of that, because people are going to say, look, Liverpool paid a crazy amount. I mean, talk about trying to buy the league, Chris. 60 odd million on a goalie. 60 odd million on a goalie. Almost doubling the old records. City spent what, 35? 75 million pounds on a defender. That's 20 million more than City paid on our most expensive defender. It's crazy money. Buying the league, almost. English Mastiff, I'd take Ake at 35 million as backup. I agree with that, mate. I absolutely agree. Pep wanted him a few years ago. No Bonucci now. It's too slow, Jay Fresh. When Pep wanted him, he didn't come. For whatever reason, Pep lauded him. It's too late now. He had a bad season at AC Milan, and then went back to whence he came. Chiellini makes him look good, maybe. Mike James, but if Ake is left-footed, we probably won't play him and Laporte together. Maybe he's not the answer. Well, look, Laporte played 41 games out of 61 last season. Okay? 41 out of 61. In the league, I think he played, I can't remember now, 29 in the league, and the rest in the Cups and Champions League, whatever. So if he's only playing 41, there's space for 20 games for somebody else. Now, let's say Laporte plays 45 games next season at centre-back. That potentially, the most games I think we can play in a season is 65. Now, if we go deep in every competition, that gives someone like Nathan Ake a chance to play 15 to 20 games. Now, he might not think that's enough, but also if he believes in himself, learning under Pep, etc., etc., etc. And it might just be that Nathan Ake could be playing all the FA Cup games. He could play in all the League Cup games and 10 or 12 league games as well, and a few Champions League. Come on, look at it from his point of view. He's going to get Champions League. He might play 2 or 3 games in the Champions League. It's not bad. He's not going to get that at Bournemouth. He might play 5 or 6 games in the League Cup and about 6 or 7 games in the FA Cup. So you can get about 12 games there. And as I said, 9 or 10 games in the league. You're looking at, he could play about 25 to 30 games. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. And he's going to earn a lot more money. He's going to learn under Pep. He's going to win stuff. What not to like? What is there not to like about all of that? So I think that's a very, very good shout for him. Let's just have a quick look at your messages. Let's have a quick drink. Quick slurp of my diet drink. Send a quick message. Okay, let's have a look. Some comments. English Master, Herence, hey Herence, John again. I have to say Ake is a mid-table team defender. We need a defender that will keep the ones we have on their toes. If Ake is good enough, see the thing is you can play in a mid-table team and you can have the ability to play at a much higher level. Let's look at what some of the business City have done. Okay, we bought what's his name? Zinchenko cheaply. Okay, with the idea, I think the idea was to move him on. To be quite honest, so I think Just sending another message. So I think, we buy someone like Zinchenko, and he was young, came from nowhere, and he's all right. We buy people like Sandler. Now, we don't know what Sandler's going to be, but he came from PEC's fall for a couple of million. He'd been released by Ajax. They didn't think he could make it. So we've got this guy. He's training with the first team. He's played a couple of games in the Cups, I think. Was it 2 games or 4 games, all told? And, so you can buy cheap players from unheard of players who can actually fit in and make it. The fact he's trained all season with the first team and there's no news about him going out on loan, and sounds like he's going to stay with the first team next season. It shows you can buy players who, with their surroundings, might not look as good as they could do playing at City. I mean, look, Delph playing at left back. He's not a great left back, but we still managed to get 100 points with Delph and Zinchenko as left back. And they're not left backs. So in this City team, when you got 65% possession, other teams, we had, I think, the fewest shots conceded against us last season. And when you're in a situation like that, people can appear better than they are. Look at Stones. Look at Stones for England making mistakes because the players around him aren't as good as they are at City. So maybe Nathan Ake will look even better when he's got better players around him. Let's have a look. Yeah, English Master. He's had 3 good seasons. Hi, Bernard. Sorry I've not said hi earlier, but a lot of people on tonight. A lot of people on. So, English Mastiff, Harry Maguire, too slow and 90 million. Yeah, it's too much. I mean, even 70 million is too much. Way too much. Exactly, English Mastiff. Pep could make Ake a great player. And right now, I think Ake's a good player. We'll see what happens. Bernard Deneen, Saul, she's got hamstring. I must have missed that. Okay, Saul of Tarsus. Now we'll drop the City keeper for the semi-final. I didn't notice because I've not watched the women's World Cup at all. But according to Bernard, she's got a hamstring problem. English Mastiff, Ake can play left back as well. Well, if you can, there's your versatility. We like versatile players. Gertier Singh, do you think City might miss out on the league like Liverpool? I hope not, Gertier Singh, because if we'd lost the league by a point or 2 points to Liverpool, we would never ever hear the end of it. They'd still be going on about it, and I'm sure Chris would agree with me that the Liverpool fans would still be going on about it. And actually, the funny thing is, if Liverpool had won the league and City had won the Champions League, Liverpool would have poo-pooed the Champions League. They just said that Liverpool fans would have said the league is the Premier Trophy to win. Mukund, now the kits are doing well. Can we go after Mbappe? Mukund, selling millions of kits doesn't make any. I'm sure you know this. Selling millions of kits does not make any difference because most of the money for the kits goes to the manufacturer. Okay, in fact, Puma will get a big chunk, and the shop. If you think, okay, a £65 kit, if I'm right, if I can't remember if there's VAT on clothing, let's say there's VAT on clothing, about 12 or 13 quid will go to 12 quid, 20% VAT. About 11 quid or whatever, 12 quid will go to VAT. Okay, let's say it costs a fiver to make. Okay, and transport and everything else, and then you got the sales, the shop's margin, and let's say it's 100%. So you sold something for 65, but it actually, take off the VAT, it's down to about 55, let's say, and take off the cost and the margin for the shop. The margin for, it's straight away down for Puma, down to maybe a tenner. I have no real idea, but if you're looking at, it could be 10 or 15 quid. Now, they're going to take most of that money because they've paid a huge wedge to City, 65 million quid. So they're going to take a huge part of that. It might be that City get 1 or 2 quid per shirt. They might get nothing. Yeah. So selling loads of shirts doesn't make any difference. And if we want Mbappe, we can afford Mbappe. Absolutely no issue. If we want to pay £200 million for Mbappe right now, there are no issues about us affording that. English Mastiff, yeah, 68 million for Alisson and 38 million for Edison. And hey, there's only one boy's name in there. It's a massive £30 million difference. Bernardini, a good keeper, is as good as a good striker, so prices should be similar, absolutely. But people don't, look, let's be honest, if you look back, and unlike other people, I've got to say that Gigi Buffon never won the Ballon d'Or. The Ballon d'Or was only ever won by one goalkeeper. We all know that's Yashin. Okay. So strikers generally win it. Strikers or attacking midfielders. Defensive players, and especially goalkeepers, do not win stuff like the Ballon d'Or. Everybody focuses on the attackers. Spencer Mark, say clear of Maguire. Yeah, I don't want Maguire. Don't want him. Mike James, when you put it like that, Ake could be a good signing. I do believe he's a good centre back. I think he's a good centre back. And you've got to remember, he's not going to be first choice. Okay, he's going to be backup for. Actually, he can back up at left back or for Laporte. Okay, he'll get his games. If he's worth it, if he plays really well, he'll get more and more and more. Mukunda, rather Ake says at Bournemouth, he contributes more to that team than he left. We just don't know Mukunda. We just don't know what his true level is. English Mastiff, Ake can play left back as well, because I reckon Mendy's going to get injured again. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. Is he another Cristali? We'll find out very soon. Mike Jane, what's going to happen with Alex? Alex Garcia has been on loan at Girona for 2 seasons. To be honest, I've always thought with him, Girona got relegated, so that's 8 players there didn't really help them that much. I've always thought he'll be sold. He's not going to come back to City. I've always thought he'll be sold on. He'll go somewhere in Europe, maybe Holland, maybe France, maybe Spain, Italy, maybe even Germany. But I expect him to be sold, City to make some money out of it. That's the way we do our business. Jay Preston, I would give Sandro a chance. Yeah, I think he's going to be. I hope he's going to be knocking around. He didn't play much last season, but he looked all right. We could go to the season. I've said before, we could go with what we've got. With Laporte, with Otamendi, with Stones, with Garcia coming through, and with Sandler, knowing that we can play Fernandinho at the back if we need to. I think we've got a lot of options there. We could just go with that, but I'd like somebody else. There you go, English Mastiff. Yeah, he's Premier League ready. He's played 117 games, I think, for Bournemouth. Never missed a game. Last season, he missed 8 minutes in the whole season. If my wiki notes are correct, he missed 8 minutes in a full season. He's homegrown, maybe about 40 million, young enough to still learn in the next couple of years under Pep. It's a very, very good shout. English Mastiff. England up to 2-2 now. Very good. 2-2. Going to VAR. Hey, hi Cobby, how you doing, mate? And your notification back up, very good. So I tried to include you in the Twitter message. I included you in the Twitter message so that you'd know we were on. Mike James, what happens to Manny Garcia who's been on loan at Toulouse? I think that Manny Garcia is another one that we'll just let go. I think we'll just let go. I can't see him coming back. It's the general thing, 2 or 3 years maximum on loan, and then sell them. There's no point keeping these players on loan renewing their contracts. It doesn't cost City actually. So renewing a player's contract doesn't cost City. Now, what's supposed to happen is the club that are loaning our players, they pay a loan fee. I think Manu Garcia, off the top of my head, was between 350 and 450,000 euros or pounds. There's not much difference now between the two. And then the club that are loaning him have to pay his wages. So for argument's sake, let's say Manu Garcia is on 20 grand a week. Okay, Toulouse have to pay the 20 grand a week, and the payers, let's say they're paying us £400,000 for his loan fee. Okay, so we're making £400,000 a year then for a guy who's not playing for us. 3 seasons, that's 1.2 million, probably more than what we paid for him. And so we could, until FIFA changed the rules, we could just keep some players and keep loaning them out again and again and again, because we can get best part of up to £500,000 from these loan fees. And for argument's sake, you got 10 players out on loan at £500,000 each. That's £5 million. That's £5 million profit. if you've got to worry about FFP, that's 5 million quid clear profit. They're paying the wages. What's not to like about that bit of business? So I can see why there are some players that we've just kept on and on and on loan, where there is obviously no chance of them coming back to City because we're getting some money out of it. Excuse me. Offside. Oh dear. Ellen White offside. Chris Welch. Of course, I'm happy we won something. I'm still desperate. Excuse me. For the Premier League, because one of our greatest managers, Bill Shankly, said the league title is your bread and butter and a trophy we want. Absolutely. It's a shame when you do get some fans coming on and saying, no, it's a Champions League and blah, 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 and everything else. But the bread and butter is the Premier League. And since let's be honest about it, since City have been in the doldrums for so long, we've not been used to these European nights, especially the Champions League or the European Cup. I mean, in our history, we were in the European Cup once. And then we got humbled, I think, in the first round. Let's not talk too much about that. Let's move on. Big chat, hey buddy. The manufacturer buys the right to sell the kit and pays how much millions to City to make and sell them. Our shop buys the shirts as a retailer, but the shirts are Puma property. Yeah, exactly. But I'm not. I still think they might be paying a small amount per shirt sold as kind of an incentive for the club to plug it as well. And the shops aren't run by City. I think our shops are still run by Kitbag. So Kitbag might be the same. They might pay some money to have that franchise or run the shop, and then they make money on the sale of shirts and stuff. Hi C-Dog, how you doing, buddy? I hope you're really, really well. Benedict Puma, UK use code POPS19 for 20% off City stuff. Hey, that's a good idea. If they're selling it at the same price at 65 quid, you can get that for £13 off, 52 quid. That's not so bad. My lad wants a shirt and I said, no chance. There's no way I'm buying you a shirt this season, kid. Let's turn this around a bit. No way I'm buying you a shirt at those prices. I've done it in the past and I'm not up for it now. I mean, we'll see when I see that away kit. He likes it, I like it. I want to see it in real life first. Is Ake coming? Absolutely no idea, C-Dog. We're just throwing Ake's name out there because there's a rumour. City, I think I said earlier on, City have a plan A, plan B, plan C. Maybe a plan D as well. So if we can't get a plan A, which I think was Mattis de Ligt, our plan B could have been Harry Maguire. Now, Mattis de Ligt, the price went up too much. Harry Maguire, the price has gone up too much. We don't want to do that. And then maybe our plan C is Nathan Ake. Maybe our plan D is Toby Alderwiereld. It seems bit of a coincidence. All the talk is about Mattis de Ligt. Then that suddenly goes quiet. And then all the talk is about Harry Maguire. And then that goes off the boil. And now the talk is about Nathan Ake. Maybe if Bournemouth come out and say no one's going to buy this kid, maybe that'll go quiet and the talk will be about Toby Alderwiereld. That's the way it is. So Ake, I like him. He's a very good player. Played every league game for Bournemouth last season. He played all but 8 minutes. He's always seems to be in the right place at the right time. He's good, good pace. He's fast. He's strong. He's powerful. He's good in the air. He can read the situation. He knows. He anticipates what's going to happen, and I think that's extremely important, especially in a Pep team, to anticipate problems. And he's only 24, and he's homegrown. Come on, guys, what's not to like? Big chat, Puma speculated to earn more than what they pay City for the rights when they make sales. That's absolutely big chat. Look, Manchester City are big news now, okay? And Puma are not just buying into Man City, they're buying into the City Football Group. So they get involved with Yokohama Mariners in Japan. They get involved with, because they're going to do the shirts they're going to do Melbourne City in Australia, Girona in Spain, Club Atletico Torque in Uruguay. They won't do New York City FC because the MLS, Major League Soccer in North America, they have a deal with Adidas, and I think Adidas supply all the kits. Okay, it's not individual teams; it's done across the whole league. But and the Chinese team, sorry, they will be involved with the Chinese team as well. I forgot the name of that. Sorry, guys. It doesn't roll off my tongue either, so that's why I can't remember. So Puma will be doing the kits for everybody. So all over the world, yeah. As these clubs hopefully get better, then City's name, and Puma's name, sorry, will become more widespread in all these different markets. And as City, look at what that domination in the last 2 seasons at home. 5 trophies out of 6. And we feel it's only a matter of time before we win the Champions League. City are big news now. Big news all over the world. 35 or 37 million Facebook followers or likes. We've got almost 2 million subscribers on YouTube and 7 million followers on Twitter. All over the world. So City are big news, big business, and people want, and companies want to tag along. Brands want to be associated with winners, and City are winners. Herence, you do make good points. Some players do look better because we control games, but I don't think we need any more of the players that just blend in. We need a player that will save us or win us games. I agree, Terence, but it's a squad game. It's a squad game, and having versatile players. Look, if Danilo goes, we need somebody else who's versatile. Yeah, Danilo can play left back, right back, even centre back and defensive midfield. Now, if Nathan Ake can play left back and centre back, versatile, flexible, useful. Okay, Cancelo's, if he comes, he'll just play right back. So we need, if we're losing versatile players, we want versatile players to come back. We need new versatile players, and as I said, he counts as homegrown, so it does not affect our non-homegrown squad list. Very important right now. We're on the edge with that. If now company's gone, we've got space opened up. That's going to be taken by Rodri. ANgelino comes in as a homegrown as well. That's useful. So you can see what City are possibly doing in getting homegrown players. Could we swap Ake for Mangala? No chance, Mukund. Absolutely no chance. I suspect Mangala will go to maybe back to Portugal, maybe to Turkey. Ake should be played alongside Laporte. Stones is unreliable. I'm not sure Abdallah Alamami. Stones was very good in the last 2 seasons in the first half of the season until he got injured. And the fact is, Stones played the second most games in the Premier League for us in defence, in centre backs. So Company, Otamendi, Stones, and Laporte. Well, Laporte played the most, I think 29. Then it was Stones. Then it was, I think, can't remember if it was Otamendi or Company, but they were neck and neck. So I think Stones played the second most number of games. So Pep does still trust him, and who can forget? He saved us against Liverpool with that clearance off the line. Mukund, is it worth asking why Ake wasn't good enough for Chelsea? Yeah, Mukund, it might be the same reason that Kevin De Bruyne wasn't good enough for Chelsea. It might be the same reason that Mo Salah wasn't good enough for Chelsea. I think you get my point. But the other thing is, in 2012 when he was coming through, they still had John Terry and Cahill. Yeah? And that was up till just a few years ago. So they had John Terry and Gary Cahill. Who's going to push them aside? Then Ivanovic as well. Who's going to push these guys aside? Nobody. Nathan Ake, no chance. Okay? And whilst he's been away on loan, Chelsea have gone and bought again. They tried to buy the finished article or the nearly finished article, and they brought players who are more likely to play than Ake. So Ake's had no choice in the end except to leave. But he's a good player. He's a good player. Chelsea would not have got him in the first place if he wasn't a half-decent player. I think English Mastiff, yeah, that's my point as well. KDB and Salah weren't good enough for Chelsea. Bernard Yanks, great at wasting time and down. Yeah, but everybody does that. Whoever you are, everybody does that. Chris Welch, I think Ake is underrated. Still young, I think he'll get... Yeah, he's only 24. If you think Pep's going to be at City for another 2, possibly 3 years, and Ake will be, if he comes along, he can learn under Pep, learn with Laporte. I think that's a great experience. And if Pep does leave in 2 or 3 years' time, Ake will be coming into his prime. Hi, Chris. Hope you're doing really well, Chris. Mike James, what... Saliba, that 18-year-old centre-back, Tottenham and Arsenal. William Saliba. I talked about him 2 or 3 weeks ago, William Saliba. I don't think we're going to get him. He's 18 years old. I'm trying to remember who he plays for. Let me have a quick think. I think William Saliba plays for Saint Etienne in France. I mean, I thought he was a good prospect, actually. I thought he was a good potential prospect, but they're asking for a lot of money. Yeah, 25 million quid for an 18-year-old. He was born in Bondi, okay? Not Bondi Beach. He was born in Bondi. Now, here's a question for you guys. Can you tell me who else was born in Bondi? Any ideas? Maybe I've got this totally wrong. Come on, guys. Okay, William Saliba was born in Bondi, in France. Okay, give me another superstar who was born in Bondi. Now, Bondi is not far from the centre of Paris. I mean, it's about 7 miles north of Paris. You know, it's not the best neck of the woods, I don't believe. Come on, guys, tell me who was born in Bondi. It's not got a massive population, 50,000 people. I'll go through your things because then I want to see who gets this Bondi right, because I got it. Herence, I don't see anyone pointing out. Oops. I've missed a lot here. I don't see anyone pointing out Piqué's pace. He reads the game well enough, just as Maguire. They're both attacking events and lethal. I agree, you know, just because someone's not got the pace. I mean, Barcelona play the same way as City. But I think, especially with the price going up and up, I think City are just going to bail on that. Mukund, nobody going to Spurs yet, and Benitez to China. Well, you've got to ask yourself about Benitez. The fans love him up there, and they think he can walk on water. But 2 days after leaving Newcastle, he's in. He left Newcastle on Friday, made his announcement on Friday, and on Monday, Tuesday, he's in China. Big fat wedge. You know, it's not as straightforward as people think. I don't believe over there, and I hope Drew Jordy's pulling what's left of his hair out. Mike James, apparently Barca have told United they want 45 from. No chance. Absolutely no chance, Mike. TT, if Barcelona are going to sell him, it's going to be at least 60, 70, 80, maybe 100 million. I can't believe 45 million from TT. If it was that cheap, I'd buy him myself. Mike James, Chris Welch, imagine Ake and Van Dijk at Liverpool would be, I think it'd be a great partnership, and actually that can get Ake up in, floating around even more around the Dutch national team. Penalty to England, VAR, come on VAR, score the goal VAR, come on, oh no Steph, come on Steph. Chris Houghton or Steph Houghton? Mike James, according to Wikipedia, Ake can play in defensive midfield too. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure how much he's played there, to be honest, Mike. I would love it. Replacement for Lovren for Liverpool. She's fluffed it. How can Steph Houghton miss? Chris Welch, and with Ake being left-footed, he could play left and VVD right. Mike James, with Nikita Paris having missed 2 penalties this tournament, Phil Neville has obviously panicked and given the response to Houghton. I'm sure they said they were going to stick with Nikita Paris. I'm sure they said that. They were going to stick and not change just because she's missed 2. That is, really, really tough. If it's been forced on Steph Houghton, that's really tough on her. But I've not seen it, so I don't know how she missed. But when I took a penalty, you have 2 options. You either fool the keeper or you hit it into the side netting, and it doesn't matter really what the keeper does. And I won't tell you how I used to take my penalties, but I was crap in my younger days. I just used to hit it weakly straight down the middle. And most goalies didn't bother diving because, I'll do too slow to dive, and I used to hit them and they'd save it. So that's when I decided you've got to put it in one of the 2 corners. Millie Maguire's been sent off. Zidane, I don't know what that is. Mike James. English Massive, we're probably not even in for Ake. Yeah, look, if you have a look at how many people, players City have been rumoured to be in for or about to buy, you'll go into probably well over 100. I'll guarantee well over 100. Bernard, England down to 10 men. Sorry, women, yeah. Mike James, did you have to check that? I mean, I knew Mbappe was from Bondi. Because it's just one of those things that stick in your mind. Obviously, living in France as well, Kylian Mbappe is from Bondi. Mike James wins the prize. Mike James, Ray Houghton put the penalty low to the keeper's right, but not right in the corner. as long as it goes in, doesn't matter. I mean, Balotelli was scoring everything. Yaya Toure never missed a penalty in the Premier League. He's got the most penalties scored in the Premier League without missing. Yeah, and so Mbappe's from Bondi. What's his name? Because that's northeast Paris. Then you've got Ben Mendes from Massy. I got a mate who lives in Massy. That's about where I used to live. It's about 15 minutes. It's not far from central Paris. Yeah, Mike. I thought someone has to cheat. How can anybody know that Kylian Mbappe is from Bondi? It's because I've done videos on Kylian Mbappe, so I know. I've read where he's from, and it just sticks in my mind. Just maybe I'm too sad. Am I sad for knowing that Kylian Mbappe is from Bondi, and Ben Mendes from Massy? I'm not sure. Yep, Spencer and Mark. Yaya was the best penalty taker ever. Just having a quick look. It's very interesting now. Let's get back to your comments. Balotelli was class. Mario was so cool, but I think he has missed Mario. But Yaya never missed. You know, you could always rely on him to score. And actually, now that you mention, now that we're talking about Yaya, today is the day, back in the day, 2010, that we signed Yaya Toure. Yaya Toure, who Paul Merson said average. I think he gave him 2 stars out of 5. He said he can't score goals, doesn't create goals. He's an okay holding midfielder. What does he do? That's just Paul Merson. But Paul Merson said something, you know, disparaging against KDB as well. I'm not having it. 55 million. I'm not having it. You know, he basically said he couldn't hack it at Chelsea. I'm not having it. Look at KDB now. You know, look what Merce said about Yaya, and look what Yaya did. Remember that season? Was it 2014? He's had 90% passing accuracy. Scored 20 league goals. 20 league goals. He took 13 free kicks and scored from 10 of them. What a player. I mean, peak Yaya. Peak Yaya. Hi, Mrugank Shah. How you doing, buddy? What we talked about, we spent a lot of time talking about defenders. We talked about Harry Maguire, why he's really expensive. And City have this ABCD list. So I think Matthew Slick was our number 1 choice. And once that got ridiculous, all the talk about Matthew Slick disappeared and it all went to Harry Maguire. Then Harry Maguire's prices got ridiculous. And the talk about him coming to City has cooled. And talk has gone to Bonucci. Talk has gone to Nathan Ake. Might even go to Toby Alderwiereld. And I said Nathan Ake is a decent shout. He's young. He counts as homegrown. He's a very decent player. Good pace. Good in the air. Reads the situation well. Good, solid defender. And who is only 24. He could flourish under Pep. And I like that idea. I like the idea also of Toby Alderwiereld, who's only just turned 30. Available for 25 million quid. Aki might be about 35 to 40. Toby's available for 25 million quid. Knows the Premier League. He's played here for 5 seasons. Maybe he feels it's time to win something. Bonucci, I don't like the idea. You know, I can't see him coming anyway. He's 32 years old. If it takes him a year to acclimatise into the Premier League because he's never been here, it doesn't matter how good you are, he'll be 33. I think he's getting too old then. Maguire's too expensive. Frankie's too expensive. Maybe Nathan Ake is your man. Spencer and Matt, calling him names wouldn't help Chris Welch. I don't know what that is about. Bernard, Balotelli won't work anyway. He's a lazy so-and-so, but he's all right. Oh, I don't know. I've missed something here. Do I need to ban Chris Welch? What's Chris Welch said? Oh. Let's go and have a look what Chris Welch said. Come on. Can I put Chris Welch in a timeout? What have you done? Yeah, Shane Balotelli didn't work out at Liverpool. Yeah, he was a good player on his day. Francis Lee, best penalty taker ever. Fact. Balotelli was good with fireworks. Absolutely, English Mastiff. Okay, Mike James. Do you ever get disappointed when our players go out on loan and they don't develop, like Brandon Back and Thierry Ambrose? I think Thierry Ambrose has done all right at Lens. Okay, I followed him, and I think was it last week he was going to go. It was rumoured that he's going to be sold. I can't remember the I'm disappointed with Brandon Barker. Okay, but okay, I'm not the best judge, but when I saw him play for City in a friendly, he came on and he looked like a fish out of water. He had to be told what to do and where to go. And I just, at that moment, I thought, this guy's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. I don't know how old he was, 17, 18 at that time. And I just thought, that was my opinion immediately. Now, I'd like him to be the best he can be and have a good career. But, yes, disappointing. Thierry Ambrose, I thought Thierry did all right. When because I follow a few people on Twitter, especially people that have left. I follow kids that have left City as well. I used to follow a few. And I followed Thierry Ambrose because he went to Lens, and I quite like Lens. Just as what's the word? Not nostalgia, romantic. The romantic idea of this town in northern France, in a poor area, let's say. And if I remember correctly, more people, the stadium has more seats or more capacity than the town has inhabitants. So people come from all over to go to Lens to play, to watch football. And if you've ever watched that film with Danny Boone, Danny Boone, it's a French film, but it was a very, very, I thought, funny. I'm just going to remember the name. I'll tell you the name. I watched this, must have been over 10 years ago. It's called Welcome to the... In English, it's Welcome to the Sticks, okay? And I thought it was very funny. And they actually go to a game at Lens and get in the crowd, and you can see them all singing and crying. It's something I would like to do. And even though I lived in France, I never did it. And, I wish I get the opportunity. I need to take that opportunity. In fact, I've got a Lens shirt. So I need to take that opportunity to go. Yeah, best penalty taker ever, possibly, yeah. So I think Thierry Ambrose is decent, and I can't remember where he was supposed to go. I thought he was going to be sold for about £4 million. He's only 22 years old, still, but he's not good. Obviously, not good for us. But he scored 10 goals last season. No, in the season before last, he scored 10 goals. And he's going to go to Metz in France. So that was the story that I was listening to. He's going to go to Metz. So there you go, guys. There's your news for Thierry Ambrose. He's going to Ligue 1 side Metz on a 4-year contract. He was supposed to sign this afternoon. And the rumoured the fee is going to be between 2 and 3 million euros. So he's already had a medical at Les Grenats over the weekend, but the closing of the deal was slowed by a last gasp effort to sign him by Brest. So Metz have won the battle, and he'll be playing for them next season unless something massively drastic goes on. 2 or 3 million euros. We would not have paid, I suspect, more than £1 million for Thierry Ambrose. I'm just going to try and see what we paid. So now this is the thing. This is going to be profit for City. So let's have a look at what we paid. So you're getting some, up-to-date news. Well, I've got it down here that he has signed. I'm trying to work out the price. So it's saying 2.25 million. We paid 360 grand. So we're making the best part of £2 million on Thierry Ambrose. And in his time at City, he spent 2 years, I think 2 seasons at City, max. And then he went on to NEC Breda, Lens, and now he's gone to Metz. So good luck to Thierry. I'll send him my best wishes. Talk to a few players. And occasionally, you get some communication back. And actually, Thierry Ambrose is one of those players who does give a little bit of communication, unlike most of them. Let's go 3 messages. Sorry, there's no problem. I realised that when I went back and had a look. Harry Maguire's gone to United too, but he will improve there. So look, we don't know. He could go there, and United could make Harry Maguire a worse player. They've done it. They've got a recent track record of getting people in who looked hot, yeah, and managed to drag them down. So maybe they'll drag him down as well. Spencer Matt, stay clear of Bonucci, absolutely. Heavy balls, yeah. English massive. I think we're talking about Franny Lee. The football's not Franny Lee. He was a small chap. I don't think he had heavy balls. Benedin, hi ho. It's off to Mexico with Bell and Lee and some of you. Hi ho. Has the footy finished, guys? Has the footy finished? Let me know, because I've not been watching. I'm only winding him up. He was in Marseille. Apparently his contract ran out, but I heard the rumour that he's going to be coming to play in a friendly against Accrington Stanley next week for Marseille, and the game's in Eccles. So I tried to reach out to him. I want to do an interview, get no answer, and I'm not going to get an answer. England women are out, so is Phil Neville going to fall on his sword? Because we get to semi-finals and Phil Neville was brought in to take England to the next level. He's only kept them static. Mike James, I always follow our youth players that move on once the blows. Absolutely, Mike. I try and keep tabs on some of the players from whoever was on Twitter that I could find. I would follow them, like David Brightwell. I'm trying to think of some of the really, really old ones. Whoever was there and I could find on Twitter, I'd follow them. Peter Barnes, I think. Did Peter Barnes come on Twitter? Whoever I could find. Calm down. My Scouser accent's gone. Wanna fight? I used to have a Scouse accent when I lived in Liverpool. But the way there's a word that we used to say that got you into Scouse. Once you said this word, it's like a switch was turned on. But I can't repeat it. On here, I can't repeat it. No bad language, no late night raw stuff. But that gets you into the Scouse. Yeah, so Balotelli should be because his contract ran out, so he should be at Marseille now. USA women third final. No, USA women have won, was it 4 Olympic gold medals? 4 or 5? 3 World Cup medal winners, I think. They're the best. Balotelli scored 43 and 76 for Nice, 8 and 12 so far for Marseille. There you go, Mike. Mike and Wikipedia, best of friends, or Google. Thanks for that, Mike. United have agreed a deal to sign Bruno Fernandes. What, 70 million euros? And they say City are distorting the market. Do one. But everybody can spend, the thing is, I did that video, 2 or 3 weeks ago, about a City distorting the market with with the transfer spending and whatever. A lot of clubs and the fans have a pop at City as a distraction from their own failures, their own failings. The board appointing the wrong manager, the manager buying the wrong players, spending too much money. And 2 examples I give. We got Leroy Sané for 37 million, let's say, paying him 60 grand a week. 60 grand a week, 37 million quid. Chelsea bought Danny Drinkwater for about 35 million quid and paid him 120 grand a week. And he's flopped for them. So they're paying this guy over £6 million a year and he's been a flop. City bought Bernardo Silva for 43 million quid. What's he worth now? You would not be able to buy him for... He offered City 150 million. They say, do one. Okay? Chelsea bought Bakayoko for 35 to 40 million. So clubs and managers and even presidents of La Liga have a go at City. But what City have done, they've got a strategy. They're doing sensible business. United are just buying players, okay, and trying to shoehorn them in and make it work. It's not working. A lot of teams haven't got the right strategy, the right structure. The best three in the Premier League, I think, who are fighting for anything in terms of strategy and structure, are City. Pep's been there 3 years. Liverpool. Klopp's been there 4.5 years. And Pochettino, he's been at Spurs for a few years now. Arsenal got a new manager. Excuse me, after so many years of Arsene Wenger messing it up for them. Chelsea, no one lasts any time at Chelsea. And United, 6 managers, I think, since Moisey left. Sorry, since Fergie left 6 years ago. Says it all. So these teams haven't got structure. They haven't got longevity with the managers. And they're in a mess. So now United are trying to get a director of football. We've got the right people. We've had them for several years. So we have got it right. Liverpool have got it right. And Spurs have almost got it right. And, no surprise that we're the 3 top teams, plus Chelsea, in the league. Migrant Sharia, we've got right-footed players playing on the left. Why do you think if we get Ake, he can play on the right? I don't see why not. A good player can play anywhere. Look, I'm right-footed. I would play left wing or left back or left midfield. I always prefer to play on the left because people didn't think I'd have a right foot at the level I played because you're playing on, and if you can half control the ball with your left foot, you should be good enough. So I don't see any problem with that. Bernard Deneen, film level team talks are all about him. Yeah, a bit like Alan Ball. Mike James Ray, I knew Sturridge would turn out to be a really good player after he left us. Well, he's injury prone. He is quite decent. Rhyme slang it, Ray. No. Cook. It rhymes with cook. No, not cook. Yeah, it does rhyme with cook. I can't say cook off, can I? But when you say that right, straight away, you could just remember Scallies in the street saying that to the friends or to you when you walk past or for no reason, and then bang, it triggers something in your head, and if you've ever seen that Jimmy Carr skit where he was with, I think was it Angelina Jolie? No, it was Angelina Jolie. He was with Banderas as well, and he was teaching them how to say different accents and how to, using certain words to get these accents right. I love that English master. That's an old one, yeah. I like to go to Liverpool every now and again to visit my hubcaps. Yeah. Chris Wells, do you think Tottenham should be little title contenders after finishing top 4 for God knows how many? They're bottle jobs. Look what they did in the Champions League, yeah. They were 2 points behind City after 18 or 20 games, and they finished 27 points behind. They've got to have that sustainability. They can't last the course, but look, Tongan and Billy's going to make a huge difference. He's a starter for me. He's miles better than Dyer, miles better. So it takes them to the next level. They do need another striker though. They need someone to cover for Kane. And they need to tell Kane to pass occasionally. I mean, could you imagine? England could have been World Cup winners if Harry Kane could pass the ball to Raheem Sterling. Mike, our highest buys Mahrez, 60 million. Real Madrid bought Kaká for the same like 10 years ago, and in that same season that same summer they bought Ronaldo for 80 million. 80 million. Bernardo Silva, great buy, English massive, absolutely. Spent about 40 million plus. Yeah, Wan-Bissaka's going to be 50 million. It's all gone mad. Bernardo is not allowed to leave, even if he wants to. Yeah, I don't think he will. Spencer Mark, 75 million for Maguire, 70 million for Fernandes. It's going to be 100. Oh, it's ridiculous. And I think they're going to pay more than 75. I think United will end up paying 80 million for, at least for Maguire. Spurs just put on the bill for 65 million. Jack Clark from Leeds for 8.5 and loaned him back. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of money to pay for a guy from the Championship to loan back. It's a lot of money to pay. Blimey, I've got 4 people who have disliked this live stream. That's it's quite harsh, don't you think? Let's just see. Bernardo, Paul Murray says Bernardo will be even better. His best years are in front of him. Will be the best player in the world if he can. Absolutely, Paul. And hi, Paul. I don't think I saw you come on. You snuck on between other comments. But yeah, look, for me, look at what he's won. Okay, at City this season. That Premier League, he's won the treble. He's won the Nations League with Portugal, who was the best player of the tournament, City's best player last season. He's just going to hopefully go from strength to strength to strength. He's how old is he? 24, 23, 24. It's a fantastic time at City. With the players we've got. It's absolutely incredible times at City. He's 24 years old. Okay, he'll be 25 in just over a month's time, but still, you'd hope he's got 7 or 8 great years ahead of him. It's fantastic. I don't think English Massive. I don't think Spurs will be in contention for the title. I think they'll slip up unless they get a couple more good players. They do need. The defense is great. Generally, the defence have got lots of centre back. They've got Vertonghen. I think he's a very versatile player. Toby. They've got a couple of others who are decent. Then you look up, Son. I think is reliable and very good. Dele Alli's a hit and miss. Eriksen might go, or his head's been turned, or he wants to go. And Kane, when Kane's out, it's a mess. They need someone, a good quality player to go up front when Kane's out. Jack Clark could be a future star. Yeah, lots of people could be future stars. It would be nice to see what happens. Chris Welch, Ousmane Dembele. I would not be paying 92 million for Ousmane Dembele, but we'll see. The thing is, Chris, I think Liverpool need to go to the next level, and I think they need 2 players. I think they need someone in place of Bobby Firmino. Now, I'm not sure if Firmino's been injured or he's just lost quite a bit of form. And I think you need an attacking midfielder, because you're full of defensive midfielders who've got pace and a bit of strength. But you need someone with some guile. I think that's to get to the next level. And another centre-back. For me, I'd have just gone and said, Mattis Select, yes, please. Play them to Mattis Select and VVD at the back. Get an attacking midfielder, maybe Dembele or somebody up front in place of Bobby. And I think you're going places. I don't think you get continue for 50 million. John Holden, not noticed you before, mate. Hope you're well. 4 people with zero integrity or who know something with zero know someone. Don't know what you, John, I don't know what that comment means. You having a pop at somebody on the channel or somebody not on the channel? I've missed that line of thought. Agreed, Mike. Coutinho is done, I think. Yeah, he's flopped now. Bernard, why did City always sign nice, decent guys who can play a bit as well? What a shame, innit? Shame for everybody else. English Mastiff always sneak up on you Spurs, don't you think? But I don't think Spurs are going to be a big hit this season. Guys, I've got 5 minutes. It's 10 past 10. And my missus was at a party tonight and she said she'll call me at 15:15. So I've got to shoot. Spencer Mark, let's face it, United, Liverpool are to blame for the stupid... Absolutely. United paid 30 million for Ferdinand. It was in 2001. And I read something today that they paid, as a proportion of their turnover for Ferdinand, 17%. Okay? 17% of their turnover. Now they're paying for Maguire. It's rumoured they're going to pay 15% of their turnover. So it's a lot of money. So what they were paid for Ferdinand all those years ago was huge. 30 million. Huge. I mean, Liverpool paid 35 million for Andy Carroll. Mike James, Coutinho still has it, and I think it'll be good. Yeah, I think Coutinho's still got a certain level of talent. It's just, he's not doing it at Barca, and he doesn't fit in. He's not. I don't think he's happy. It's obviously not been the dream move that he'd hoped for. Chris Welsh, my dream 3 signs now. Ake, any decent attacking midfielder, and Timo Werner. I still say Mathis de Ligt for Liverpool in defence. I still say the 4 dislikes. All right, cheers, mate. Trying to work that out, John. Hey, look, mate, John. I got 2 dislikes before I'd open my mouth. So it's water for ducks back. Spuds will finish 3rd or 4th at best. I got some great comments. Great comments from Man City Fan TV. That was my thing earlier today. Some accusations on camera. If I can be asked to reveal a whole load of WhatsApp messages that will selectively choose to reveal private... yeah. See, what you say to people... I'm not going out there claiming this, that and the other. Okay? I'm not going out there claiming stuff which is a blatant lie. Yes, in your life you might make fun of people who your mates behind their back. So shoot me. But, okay, when you make accusations about people, and this is not about me, this is a third party. When you make accusations about people and organisations that are simply not true, then you open yourself up to potential legal action. When you make things up, yeah, and are you relying on the third party never finding out because no one watches your videos outside 100 people on your live streams? When you make stuff up, when you blatantly lie, and you're going to have proof for this, you've got to have proof, okay? When you say stuff about third parties and third-party organisations that are not true, and that third party states they're not true, then you've got to be very careful. You're treading on thin ice. So, I'm not going to say too much more about that. But, yeah, we'll see. Timo Werner got Bayern Munich all over his next move. Probably for a free as well, English Massive. That's the way Bayern do it. I've got 1 minute left. Going to go through quickly. Mike James, Timo Werner is decent. Muckund, Spurs always have something going on in the background. Consider last season, they didn't spend. They were playing great, but surely having a ready excuse always drags you to... Absolutely. I said they could do well, but I thought they'd do well because players have got 1 more year experience, 1 more year development if they're young players. And as I said, 1 more year experience in the Premier League if they come from abroad, and people will develop. But there comes a point where you need the backup, and you need to be able to change things around when things aren't working. And Spurs couldn't do that towards the end of the season. They couldn't change things around, and they were focused on the Champions League then. That was their focus, and it nearly cost them top 4. RIP feeling level, yeah. Proud of Steph Houghton and the rest of the ladies. Yeah, they did the best. How did you go on Mario Kart, mate? I never win against my kids. Never, ever win. I can beat them now and again, but if we have a Grand Prix of 4 races, the best I can do is win 1. 1 out of 4. It's not good enough. But what I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm not going to tell them. Tomorrow, I'm going to spend a couple of hours. And what I'm going to do now, until the end of school, they've got another, school finishes next Friday. I might spend a couple of hours a day practicing on Mario Kart. 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the afternoon. And then, when I'm ready, bam, get my own back. Razor Beast, not anymore, Mike. Absolutely not on the... I used to be all right at Mario Kart. I used to, 6 months ago, I would absolutely thrash my kids. But, they're doing what they're doing now. They're drifting their cars. I can't drift a car. So what they do, my eldest yesterday, he gave me a car. It looked nice, but it didn't turn corners. It just went straight on. And I can't drift. And so, yeah, they're stitching me up. I know they're stitching me up. Smalling and Jones, R.I.P. Smalling and Jones. Chris Welch, see you later. Yeah, cheers, Chris. Have a great one. I got smashed 71 PS by my grandson, an English Mastiff. You can't beat kids, mate. It's very hard to beat kids. Mukund and Carney is laughing at English Mastiff Mike James. Good. Everybody's on the laugh. Guys, I remind you again, I've got this, it's not a competition, you apply for one of these free courses, okay? This choice of 3 free courses. I'm paying the fee to the FA for the course, and it's up to the individual who gets the prize to pay for their own transport and food and anything else they have to pay for. There's a choice between an FA refereeing course, an FA coaching course level 1, and an FA futsal course level 1. So I said I prefer someone from Manchester, but anybody can apply. And I'll ask you some questions just to see what your reasons are and other information about you. And I'm just going to put my email address in so you can see. And yeah, you guys can come and let me know if you're interested, okay? Let me know, because Sunday's a cut-off date. You've got to let me know, guys. No fixed date yet, and I'll sit down with you, because I want to go as well. So it'd be nice to go, a couple of us go together. Might be fun, might be horrible, but who knows? See you, Bernard. See you, Mukund. So if anyone's interested, okay, and one of these courses costs 200 quid, okay, so it's not cheap, but it's something I want to do and something for the future I want to keep doing through this channel. I want to support education and football, okay? Maybe education and sport in the future, but education and football is a big thing for me, and maybe my dream would be every season to offer those 3 courses, not just this year, just one, but to offer all 3. So offer the FA coaching course, level 1, FA futsal course, and the FA referees course, okay? And hopefully, we'll get a little bit of money from the monetization of the site to help pay for that. That's my goal. That's my dream for this season. So I've got to go, guys. See you all tomorrow. Take it easy. Work hard. Play hard.